What's up, guys? Welcome to Making Houston Home. My name is Rene Lara. I appreciate y'all for being with me today. And what we're going to be talking about is super important to me, super important to you. If you're watching this, obviously you're doing your research, you're thinking about moving here to Houston. We're going to be talking about housing affordability. So, the market has been crazy these last few years, went nuts during the pandemic, kind of trickled back down a little bit. Everybody thought there was a huge housing crash coming. Hasn't really happened. We're actually kind of seeing it trend back up, and year over year, we're still seeing prices increase. So what does that mean? What does that look like? We're going to be comparing what it would cost to buy a median priced home here in Houston versus renting, what the average rent here in Houston. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So stay tuned for that. I'm actually going to pull up the mortgage calculator, show you exactly what a potential payment could look like for you compared to if you were to try to rent a home here in Houston. We're going to kind of compare nationally the index, the affordability index of Houston compared to not just your other major cities in Texas. You got Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, but also nationally. So Houston is the fourth biggest metro city in the country, but it's actually one of the least expensive to purchase a home and to live in. So really, really great stuff coming in this video. So stay tuned for all that. We'll go ahead and jump right into it and get to all the details right now. All right, so we're gonna start right here at what is the median price for a home here in the Houston area, and what that is right now. This is April of 2023. Actually, this is May. I'm behind. Too much going on. I'm losing my mind. We're in May of 2023 right now. The median price for a home is sitting right at $327,000 here in the Houston area. So comparatively speaking, we're up about 21% from what it was this time last year. So, speaking to that real quick, the market did go nuts last year. The last 2 years, everybody knows that. The median price was up higher than that just recently, and then it kind of trickled back down. So we're still up pretty exponentially, about 20% from this time last year. But what does that mean? What does that look like? How is that compared to other places in Texas? I'm going to show you right now. So we'll pull up this chart. You can see here, this is essentially, this is the income you would need to purchase a median priced home in each one of these cities. So starting at the top, you can see Austin metro area. You would need about $127,000 of annual income to purchase a home there. Dallas metro area, you can see $101,000. Houston metro, $89,200. San Antonio, $87,200. So Houston and San Antonio pretty comparable, just about $2,000 a year off. But what's very interesting, nationally, you look at that bottom level, the U.S. nationally average income needed to purchase a median price home across the country, $93,600. So when you're looking at Houston, it's actually one of the least expensive, if not the least expensive, big metro city. Tons of jobs, tons of things to do. Really great place, and one of the least expensive to live at. So really, really good options here in Houston as well. Plus, it's beautiful homes. And another thing to note too, if you look at that very right-hand side of that chart, that's telling you the increase in income that was needed just from this time last year to this time this year to purchase a home. So you can see Dallas 25, Houston 21. Austin was the least from year over year at 6%, but the previous years Austin had exponential growth way faster than a lot of the other areas. So Dallas, Houston, San Antonio. So you can see all of them there pretty much over 20%. I don't know about you, but I'm assuming the company you're working for didn't give you a 20% raise last year, right? So people are getting left behind, and it's sad to say, and I hate to see it, but I saw it happen in Southern California as well. Back in the early 2000s, when everything really started booming down there in California, we saw people getting left behind, right? Because wages didn't keep up with the increase of home prices, the increase of just everyday expenses. And that's kind of what we're seeing here in Houston. So with that said, Fortunately, I personally feel like we're on the front end of this, and I saw it all happen in California. I remember everybody talking about how crazy it was back in the early 2000s. It's not sustainable, blah, blah, blah. The market crashed in '08, but we never went back all the way down to what the prices were in, let's say, the year 2000. You know, everybody, the market crashed, things went back down, and then boom, shot back up over the next, you know, few years. And now we're looking at $1 million homes that were 250,000, you know, 20 plus years ago. So kind of the same thing we're seeing here in Houston. Good thing is I feel like we're really on the front end of it right now and seeing the expansion of the city. I'm really confident in saying that because it is extremely familiar to me and what I saw in California 20 plus years ago, and how it's really started expanding and growing out towards the Inland Empire more. It's kind of what we're seeing here in Houston. So, you know, hopefully you, if you're from California, you're from Southern California, you really know what I mean. You really understand what I'm talking about because you probably saw it happen too. But, you know, from there, kind of pull up this next map, and this is going to show you the average lease price for a single family home here in the Houston metro area and then these different counties. So Houston metro area, you can see average lease prices at $1,950, which is up from $1,900 last year. And I think if you go back about 5 years, that's up actually about 20%. So what happens, right? And this directly correlates to the home price and the unaffordability of buying a home for a lot of people. Unfortunately, they have to rent, right? But what does that bring? That means that there's more demand in the rental market, which means more demand comes in. That means prices go up. So it's kind of a catch-22. If you can't afford to purchase a home yet, then you're forced to rent, but then rents are also going up, which makes it even harder on you. So it's a tough situation to be in, but if you are able to purchase a home at the beginning of really this trend that we're seeing happening here in Houston, I would highly recommend it. And again, that's not me, hurry up and buy a home, hurry up and buy a home. This is just my opinion. This is kind of what I feel with my experience being from Southern California and seeing what I saw. You know, I hate seeing people get left behind like this, and you got to be on the forefront of this stuff if you really want to own a home. You want to have generational wealth in your family and have things to pass down to your children, which is important to me, really important on this stuff. So again, kind of got sidetracked there, but you know, going back to this list here, you can see the lease prices for single family homes. Houston Metro, $1,950, Brazoria County, $2,100, $2,200 in Fort Bend County, Galveston, $1,850, and then all the way on the right hand side, you can see that percent change. So the highest one was Brazoria County, went up 10% year over year. So really a lot of growth there. Other ones 2 to 3% ish, but you can see that. And then what I want to do now is I'm actually going to compare what it would look like to rent your median price single family home in the Houston metro area, which is $1,950, compared to what it would cost to buy a median price home here in the Houston area at $327,000. So I'll go ahead and pull up this little image here, and this is a mortgage calculator. So obviously this is just kind of rough numbers, but give you a general idea of what that would look like. So payment right there in the middle of that blue circle, about $2,457. So that's, you can see on the left hand side, home price $327,000 with 5% down, which is the average amount people are putting down right now. 30-year loan at 5.85%, which with good credit, we're seeing high fives right now. Less credit, we're seeing right in the sixes, maybe 6.5. And then in that zip code, that's actually where I live. That's a zip code in Kingwood. So as you can see on the right-hand side, property tax, insurance, PMI, everything all in, you're about $2,450. So about $500 more per month than to rent the average leased price home here in Houston. So just kind of giving you a general idea of what that looks like. You know, a lot of people call me and they say, you know, we're not sure if we can buy, we might have to rent. Usually what we do, I can get you with a good lender I know. They can pull your stuff, pull all the information, you just apply with them, and then they tell you what you're approved for. And a lot of times, actually, people who think they can't buy a home, you actually end up being in a pretty good spot and able to purchase a home. There's down payment assistance programs here in Houston also that I need to do a whole nother video about because there's a lot of detail involved in that. But surprisingly, and me too, you know, when I purchased my first home when I was 21, I didn't think I could buy a home, but somebody talked to me and told me, hey, you might as well apply. I had a good job, I had decent credit, whatever. I applied, I got a loan, I bought my first home in Orange County, California. It worked out great. So that's kind of the same mindset that I have with people now. When people tell me, oh, I'm not sure, it's like, hey, let's just do it. There's really nothing to lose. If you get approved, great, you own your own home. Now you're at the front end of this crazy market as things continue to grow, and you take a big step back, look at real estate in general. Yes, it has its ups and downs, but it continually trends up throughout history. So it's a great investment, great way to build generational wealth with your family, with your children. So really, really great. Real estate is just, I mean, it's so important. It really is just so important for everybody. And I wish everybody could really understand that and do what they need to do to get and start and get ownership of something here in your life. So again, you know, I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop it there. We'll go ahead and stop there. But again, so the median price home here in Houston is about $327, and that's still trending upwards year over year. Try to sum everything up. That's pretty much it. Average lease price home about $1950, and then we're talking about income. And again, this is dual income. This doesn't mean that two people need to be making, you know, in Houston area it was $89,200. So that will qualify you for the median priced home here at $327, and that's dual income. So if you have two people making more than that, you should be fine. You know, everyone's situation is different, but just speaking rough numbers, should be fine in that range to purchase a home here in Houston. So with all of that said, we'll go ahead and end this video, but I appreciate you guys for joining me. I hope that helped you, you know, in your research, trying to figure out if you can afford a home. If you have more questions or things that are just kind of running through your mind, go ahead and reach out to me. All my information is below. That number is my direct line. So if you text or call it, I'm the one that texts you back or calls you back. There's also a link in the description below with a Calendly link where you can go on and schedule a call with me at your own convenience. And we can kind of chit chat, talk about your move, talk about what's bringing you to Houston, talk about, you know, everything you have going on. And I'll be able to help you through this process and helping you make Houston your next home, as I did with my family back in 2018. So that's it. I appreciate you. God bless you. And I'll see you on the next one.